I'm really feeling it.
So why exactly am I showing a Shulk Smash trailer? That's a good question, actually. Because directly afterwards, they showed other games in that direct. But sometime later on in the direct, Iwata announced a new advancement in the Nintendo 3DS family. The new Nintendo 3DS, which by the way points off for the name, is a more powerful Nintendo 3DS, as they clearly explained. In fact, it's more powerful enough to not make it so that taking out your SD card is as easy as simply putting off the thing, taking it out, taking it back in. But no, you have to use a screwdriver, Jesus. But anyway, as it is more powerful than the regular 3DS, I bet Nintendo was wondering, why don't we hold an entire open world JRPG into this? And they were like, no, there's no way. There's no way we'll be able to do it. Bam! So along with the new 3DS, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D was also announced. Now you gotta understand, back when this was first announced, a lot of fans of the game were actually pretty worried. And they complained very loudly about, the new 3DS as it's being like, why would you announce a new 3DS? Well, I took it to this way. Basically, think of it like the Game Boy Color, It's basically another Game Boy Color or DSi or DS Lite or whatever. So, people were definitely worried that this was going to be inferior to the console version. As judging from the footage, it obviously wasn't going to look as good as its console counterparts. And, yeah, I can pretty much see why. It definitely did look worse than it was on the Wii, but, that was basically a given. But when the system finally came out and the game came out 2 months later in April, all worries were pretty much put to rest when people realized, oh, it's just the same game but on the 3DS. Except it looks slightly worse. Huh. Yeah, I still heard plenty of complaints about, how the graphics aren't really as good, but, it was pretty much a given still. Now keep in mind, I don't have any means of recording direct feed footage from my 3DS yet, and as far as I know, any 3DS emulators are either still in testing or don't exist yet, so I'm forced to use my phone's camera in order to record the footage. So let's travel back into 2011 when I used to record things with a camera. Yep, so why don't we just get on through with this. Now, what I really appreciate about this port is that Monster Games, the same studio who worked on racing games and ports like Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, made it so that Xenoblade 3D felt really close to its Wii counterparts. The cutscenes still have the same amazing direction and visual flair as you would see on the console. That was basically the thing I was most worried about, is that the cutscenes weren't going to look as good on the 3DS. But thankfully, due to trailers and a lot of the Nintendo Direct stuff that they showed concerning Xenoblade 3D, I'm still so amazed that the cutscenes still look as amazing as they do. So thankfully the awesomeness was preserved. So even if the graphics took a hit because of the 3DS resolution. Yeah, obviously, basically what I said before, obviously the game isn't going to look as good on the 3DS since, it's a much smaller resolution on the 3DS. But still, the game looks really good. It still has those amazing views. It still has those amazing textures. Okay, I'm not gonna lie when I say the textures look pretty bad, especially considering that the models have somehow degraded in quality. And is it just me? Or the Napon look surprisingly bad? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but the Napon looks surprisingly bad. I mean, they honestly look like PS1, but whatever. I don't know. So yeah, the game might look worse, but I still think that in terms of the artistic direction, this game still looks fantastic. Seriously, it does. But now it's time for the battling in Xenoblade. Oh boy. Okay. So here's the thing. The other thing I was kind of worried about in terms of controlling Xenoblade 3D was that exploration was going to be basically the same thing where you walk around and you jump around and stuff. But I was kind of worried that, battling can get pretty awkward considering that, the new 3DS, even though it has the same buttons as the classic controller, it would feel kind of sort of awkward to me. Like moving around enemies and selecting arts and just doing the arts and all that. So yeah, seemed that way at first when I played this at school this one time before I actually got the game. However, when I got it for my birthday earlier this year and I played more and more, I got used to them. Simple as that. Yeah, I got used to them, and honestly, combat in Xenoblade 3D, after playing the console version so much, it honestly feels more or less natural to me at this point in time. Because, you know, at this point, I'm at the Fallen Arm at this point. And yeah, that's pretty much enough progress for me to make this video, am I right? But yeah, when it comes to actually criticizing the port, okay. So I recently got through this game more and more when I went through the PAX. I played the game on the airplane, I played through the game in the convention itself, and I played more on the way back. And let's just say, you remember that little problem of the game where if there's too much going on, the slowdown gets really bad? Well, take a look at it this way. If you thought the slowdown was bad in the Wii version, well, just try to get through the Sword Valley and Galahad Fortress boss fights. I mean, the slowdown can get pretty bad. I don't even remember ever the slowdown happening that early on on the Wii version. And the slowdown is made more pronounced or more cringy in that cutscene where the gang are talking to Nicole before Dixon shows up on the Fallen Arm. The slowdown! There's nothing happening on screen and the slowdown is so bad. It honestly just made me cringe. I mean, as much as I really love the game, the slowdown is just so bad on that 3DS version at times. Oh man, I really can't wait to see how bad the slowdown is when I get to Agneritha, oh boy. But thankfully, if you're not worried about the slowdown in regular cutscenes, those amazing cutscenes with the amazing direction don't have any slowdown at all, so thank God. Now, it's not to say that this port is essentially basically the same as the Wii version. For Monster Games, has you exactly covered what you need with. Yes, right, the one new feature that it has. It's called Collection Mode. This is a new feature that will allow you to listen to the amazing soundtrack via the sound test, aka Jukebox, which is already a plus since I really love sound tests in games. And it also has the model viewer, which basically makes it so that you can view character models on not only Shulk and his companions in various equipment sets, but also other story characters and bosses, another plus. I always like this feature in games where you can view models, trophies, figurines, or whatever. Basically like Smash Brothers or Kirby and the Rainbow Curse in a way. Or basically modern Kirby games at this point. The way to unlock new tracks and new models is just basically play through the game, and every 2 major areas you'll get more unlocked, or the ability to unlock more. And once they're unlocked, you can get them via tokens. Tokens are earned through exchanging 5 play coins for 1 token, which honestly in my opinion is way too much. Using Street Pass to get 2 every Street Pass hit, which is very good if you go to conventions often. And trust me, at MagFest and PAX East, I got so many tokens, honestly. And by scanning in your Shulk amiibo to get 3 tokens daily, which is what I do if I'm not at a convention. Reaching level 99 will net you 99 tokens, and beating the game for the first time will award you 100 tokens. Spending 1 token will get you a random model or song, and yes, it is random every time regardless of whether you actually have it or not. And spending 3 tokens will guarantee you a new model or song. And best of all, basically like the sound test in Smash Bros. 3DS and Sonic Generations 3DS, they make it so that your 3DS can turn into a music player, in that if you close the system with headphones in, you can listen to your music, you know, when you're on a walk. And trust me, the soundtrack is very good for a reason. I always try to keep my collection up to date as soon as I'm done with a major area or 2. So, yeah, I'm finally good at something. However, I think the ability to get new models and songs comes every 2 areas, basically like I said before. which, considering I'm OP as hell and spending my time in each area trying to get every quest done, exploring everything and doing every quest, it can take a very long time to me. Who'd have thunk that I would have no life for this game no matter what system I play it on? Now, this might not be related to the game itself, but there is a Street Pass puzzle relating to Xenoblade that I should mention. This puzzle panel is actually really cool because not only does it reference the title screen and promo art, but you can also see Shulk and Fiora, the best couple ever, staring out into the Macanas if you move it enough, as well as a few Napon plus Ricky that play around with them all, and they are cute and fluffy and squishy-like. Honestly, I didn't even know that was Ricky lying on the floor when I first noticed that panel. I really do like it though, it's so cute. There's all sorts of Xenoblade related stuff when it comes to 3DS, such as the Japan-only new 3DS faceplates. Don't worry, you can get them at conventions for overpriced. And there's also 2 great 3DS themes available right now through the theme shop, both of them basically being promo arts, one of them featuring Shulk and his companion staring out into the Bionis, as well as, you know, the title screen. And they have the main theme and Gower playing in the background for their respective, you know, themes. So if you have a good $4 to spare, then definitely get both of them, as each of them are $1.99. So basically, even though I'm pretty much at the halfway point of Xenoblade 3D, I can honestly say, you know, despite the slowdown and, you know, the game obviously not looking as good as it would be on the console, I can still safely say with confidence that Xenoblade 3D is an excellent port of the Wii original. For one thing, it's not that hard to find in stores, and thankfully, it's not GameStop exclusive. But still, if you can't find it, you can always find it on the eShop. Whether you find it in stores or if you find it on the eShop, it'll always be $40. Which is, you know, another plus since, you know, it's far less expensive than the Wii version. It's still just as fantastic, and I guarantee you, it'll still be one of the greatest experiences you ever had. Also, can I just mention that even though this game is on a handheld, it loads much faster since technically the new 3DS is much more powerful than the Wii. Like everything, like the menus, skip traveling, it loads so much faster. I found that hilarious yet amazing at the same time, believe you me. But anyway, yeah, that's basically another reason why I should get the 3DS port. Oh, and speaking of the eShop, I should take this time to mention, as I'm recording this video on April 28th, Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii comes out on the Wii U eShop today. So yeah, and it's also $20. So if you have a Wii U, and, you know, if you have, you know, the monies, do it! It's an awesome deal! Like Xenoblade Chronicles, finally on the Wii U eShop! That's so good! They obviously watched my video of the finale and said, hey, this guy likes Xenoblade. Hey, get this game out! Alright, so yeah, just wanted to quickly mention that Xenoblade Chronicles is now on, you know, the Wii U eShop, so go get it. Go get it. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to mention. Get Xenoblade 3D, or if not, get the original for the Wii U eShop, should you have a Wii U. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last Xenoblade bonus video. See you guys then.